Meet one Carl Flanagan, age 27. Today he thinks he's traveling from his home in the suburbs to a job he hates. This has always been the most peaceful part of his day. At home, he plays the part of a henpecked husband, living in fear of a wife who turned cold and bitter the day that their honeymoon started. And at his work lies an even greater terror. The greedy and selfish son of the company's CEO is the man Mr. Flanagan calls boss. Belittled at home and at work, Carl has become timid and a creature that exists only to avoid the judgment and scorn of others. What he doesn't realize is that he's not actually going to work. He's visiting a land of empty streets and vacant hallways, a place where he will be unbothered, where his bed will be empty when he gets home, and where nobody expects him to do, say, or account for anything. Mr. Flanagan has begun a journey that we will now follow into the crazy zone. Well, look at that. I got to work first. He tells me to get here early. Where is he? Strange, I've never seen that windbag not here on time. That's a little odd. I got here before the boss. I got here before the boss. I'm here before the boss. Hey, Bill. Hello. It's 11 o'clock. You gonna come in today? Can't really get anything done without you. Hello? Hello? You there? Pick up. Okay. Guess it's time to go. Bill was not at work today. Bill was not at work today. Bum, 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 bum. Hello? 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 Anybody home? Honey? Hello? Hello? Anybody there? Hello? Okay, whatever. I went to bed that night, relaxed, no trouble, for the first time in years. My wife, I didn't know where she was, I didn't really care. But I didn't have anything to worry about. Nothing at all. Hadn't seen anybody all day. Didn't have to get yelled at or anything. It was kind of relaxing. I found a note from Anna when I woke up. It was laying on the kitchen floor. It looked like it maybe fallen off the fridge, or I don't know. Anna was still nowhere to be seen, but in the note she complained about how I was acting strangely and distant. I mean, who was distant? Who was not there? But I didn't really care. As long as she wasn't there complaining, I could ignore her notes. I could go to work and not find my boss at work again for the second day in a row. This is very strange. Hello, Bill, you coming out? Coming to work today? Hello? Bill? Hello? Bill? There's nobody on the streets. There's nobody out here at all. Nobody. Am I alone? That's strange. I've never... The door's unlocked. They wouldn't just run off and leave it unlocked unless there was nobody here. Huh. I guess I'll get a drink. I guess that makes it self-serve, huh? Hello, bartender. Give me a whiskey sour, please. Wow. That's a nice trick. Cheers. Wow, I could get used to this. Invisible bartender, nobody to bother you. Just nice. I could live like this. Keep them coming though. Ooh, stand up. Thank you, thank you. No tomatoes, please. Doc walks into a doctor's office and he says, "Give me some chapstick and put it on my bill." Get it? Put it on my bill? Get it? Thank you, thank you. You've been a wonderful audience. Thank you. Yeah, you're too kind. You're too kind. Thank you. I decided to go exploring, looking around the neighborhood. Couldn't find anybody. Looked around in a few apartments. Looked in through the windows. Didn't see any cats, dogs. It was like every living thing was gone. I didn't even see any birds in the sky. Couldn't see anybody driving on the streets. I could see just me. I could go where I wanted, take what I wanted. It was strange, but I could feel like people were around me, maybe ghosts. I could wait and the subway would come, get on it and ride home or ride out to the cemetery or wherever I wanted to go. I didn't understand, but I didn't care. It was relaxing. There was nobody to bother me. It seemed like this peacefulness, this quiet was not bound to last. What would make everybody leave like that? That was strange. I couldn't think of a disaster that could have happened that I wouldn't hear about that would let the subway still run without an operator. It was like the world had been cleared for me. I could just wander around without being bothered by anyone. I always thought it was strange how a 3-year-old could drown out 2 subway cars full of people, and yet now I could walk through my old school and not hear a sound. I couldn't hear anything except for my own footsteps echoing in the hallways and the sounds of my exploration. But there were signs of people. There were signs everywhere. Graffiti, things written on chalkboards, paper on the ground, litter, and newspapers. I didn't want to question it. I didn't want to figure out where everyone was, because that might ruin things for me. I got the feeling that they were still there somewhere. Maybe on some parallel dimension, or just out of sight. Maybe it was a weird coincidence that I hadn't seen anybody that day. A very, very large coincidence. I could suddenly do whatever I wanted. I could walk around naked outside. I could read my books. I could do silly things that my wife would disapprove of. I had complete freedom. I could go wherever I wanted. I could do what I wanted. I didn't have to be at work the next day. In fact, I didn't have to be anywhere. I decided I was gonna do something I hadn't done in a long time. I'd take a drive down to the beach and relax. Where'd the other car come from? There hadn't been anybody on the road. I could have swore, but I rear-ended them. It's almost as if they'd been thrown into my path. Did they not want me to drive? It's very strange, but there was always the subway. That couldn't stop me. I found the same magic at work at the beach that I had at the bar. There was a small cabana there, and I just held out my hand and said, "Give me a pina colada," and there it was in my hand. Went down to the beach, laid down, soaked up some sun. Wished I brought my bathing suit, but I'd left that in the trunk of the car, unfortunately. No matter. I skinny dipped for a little while, then went for a long walk on the beach. When I got back home, there was a few odd surprises for me. It seemed like somebody had been in here cleaning. Some spring cleaning, I was guessing, but who would be doing the cleaning? That didn't make any sense. I guess that didn't make any more sense than who was giving me pina coladas earlier that day. I decided what I'd do is I'd photograph the room and compare it the next night to make sure that wasn't just my imagination. I wasn't sure how I'd get the film developed. Maybe if I left it at the drugstore, that they'd develop it for me while I was away, the ghosts, poltergeists, or whatever was doing it. But it was worth a shot. The next day I discovered that there were more limits to what I was allowed to do. I got up early and put on some warm clothes and got my rifle, went down to the park at the end of the street, decided to shoot some bottles and targets, and hadn't had fun shooting since I was in high school. But the strangest thing happened to me then. Hey, let go of me. Who's that? I woke up behind the bars of a jail cell. I wasn't sure how I'd gotten there, but it wasn't a good place to be. I stood up and looked around. There was no one there. Of course, I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't see that clearly, but I was alone still. This time on the wrong side of bars. My first instinct was to panic. I mean, who was going to feed me here, and who was going to let me out? Was my bartender friend going to come and rescue me? I hope so. I yelled for my bartender. I even yelled for Anna and Bill. I yelled for anybody to come and rescue me. I guess it made sense. I mean, in a real world, I suppose, if I'd gone shooting a gun in the middle of a park in the middle of the city, I would have gotten arrested, but there was nobody around to wake up as far as I could tell. It only took a few hours for my non-existent jailers to let me go. I heard a key in the lock, though I couldn't see anyone and I couldn't see a key, but when I pushed on the door, it was open. I got out of there as fast as I could. No one tried to stop me, at least no one that I saw. At home, I tried to put the whole thing behind me as fast as I could. It shaken me. I wondered what other invisible laws I might be breaking. But it kind of made sense. I mean, if there were real poltergeists around, if all the people had disappeared and been moved into some alternate universe, I'd be going into the middle of a park in the morning and firing a gun. Probably alerted some poltergeist jogger who called the poltergeist cops. Well, I guess I wouldn't be doing that again. My photographs had already been developed. Found a box from the pharmacy on my nightstand. They'd actually delivered. I didn't even have to take it to the drugstore. It's amazing. When I looked in the pictures, I didn't see exactly what I'd expected. It was the same pictures I'd taken the night before, but my wife was in them. The next day I read the newspaper for the first time since everyone had disappeared and discovered that I was in it. The ghosts, the poltergeists, had written about me causing a car accident and walking around naked outside and at the beach and firing a gun in the park. They could see me. They could see me and they reacted to what I was doing. And I didn't see them. They couldn't bother me, but they were certainly bothered by my behavior. But I was above their scorn, or below it, or beside it. I couldn't see it. It didn't bother me.
It's a terrible predicament. You've got to help me. I don't know what to do. I'm at my wit's end.
Well, his inability to see us does make it very difficult to counsel him, and we've never seen this before, but if it's any consolation, we are calling it Flanagan's disease.
This is nonsense. Can't you just give him some pills or something? He's ruining my life. I'm running out of money.
Well, he's going to need to want to come out of it, and these things always take time.
Time? No. There is no time. If he doesn't go back to work now, I'll have to get a job.
Well,
Well, what are you going to do? I mean, it's perfect for him. He's racking up tabs at the bar, he doesn't pay for the subway, and I'm stuck with the bills!
Our subject, one Carl Flanagan, age 27, has, through the pressure of his life, been struck with the inability to perceive other human beings. It is a peaceful place that exists only within his mind, a place without crowds, without arguments, without yelling, and without responsibility. It is the perfect vacation for Carl, and a little resort we call the Crazy Zone.